Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. It's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. It's Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and that translates into a steady dose of no BS job search advice. This is a time where I'd like to spend about 15 minutes talking with you about how you can do your job search more effectively. Because job hunting doesn't have to be hard or difficult or painful or complicated. You know, the mistake most job hunters make is they think that if you can do the job, you're going to get hired for the job. And frankly, you will eventually get hired, but it could be a lot less complicated, take a lot less time if you know the skills needed to find a job. You see, those skills enhance the experience that you have from doing your work. And that's where this show comes in. No BS job search advice, very direct, very much to the point, designed to help you find work much more quickly. So today's show is brought to you by consultingassignments.com. Consultingassignments.com is a site where you can find and fill consulting assignments, temp positions, full-time consulting positions, temp to perm and contract to hire opportunities anywhere in the world completely free. Posting a job or a resume is free. Searching jobs and resumes is free. Contacting one another is free. There's no charge for this site, except if you want to feature your resume or feature a job you're trying to fill. Then it's $10 for 30 days. Nothing. Now, if you're going to feature more than one job over the course of a year, they have programs that take that cost down to ridiculously little. And then they make it 45 days. So again, that site is consultingassignments.com. Now, before I go into my show today, I just want to start by saying I'm feeling a little off today, so if my voice sounds a little funny, if I make a flub or two today, my apologies. I've been fighting something all weekend. It just, it's hitting me yet again for another day. So I hope it goes away soon, but like I said, if I'm a little off today, my apologies. So I want to talk with you today about some of the big mistakes job hunters make when they interview and how to avoid them. Because, again, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot on an interview. You want the interviewer focused on all the great stuff that you can do for them and help solve their problem rather than set up a red flag for them that causes them concern. Because as soon as they hesitate, they move on to the next person. So here's a couple of things that I've noticed over the course of the years that job hunters do poorly. So the first thing is they don't know when to stop talking. They don't know when to shut up. They get to they're given a question, and they drone on, and their nerves come out. And the mistake here is people don't listen for very long. At best, you have 60 seconds to keep someone's attention, ideally 30 to 45. And even if you end your answer and they sit silently, I would just simply say, is there anything else that you wanted me to cover with my answer that I neglected to do? I neglected to cover. And allow them to direct you. Don't just talk on and guess at what they're trying to find out from you. If you're not sure, ask them. Second thing is, and this is a classic, is criticizing your current employer or criticizing your former employer. You just don't badmouth people because they're sitting there going, is that what they're going to say about me when it's time for them to leave me? It is such a quick turn-off to organizations and to hiring managers. It's goofy to make that kind of mistake. Another thing people do is they ignore doing a quality cover letter. And sometimes they even ignore sending a cover letter. Now, I'm not talking about attaching a document here. I'm talking about using email, for example, as a useful tool to sell yourself. Now, it's not that objectives are so poor. if you put them on a resume. Just no one reads them, and they're generalities. No one really cares that you want to work for a progressive organization where your skills will be recognized and that you want to advance, if you do a good job. That's all an assumption, and it is nonsense. They don't care. What they care about is how you fit the job and how you fit the culture. Objectives aren't what they care about. Use a cover letter, or in fact, a cover email. A cover email is, frankly, the document, the email body to which your resume is attached that talks about how you fit the role, how you fit their responsibilities. And you can go so far as to take the requirements of the position and next to them indicate for how long and how recently you've worked with those particular requirements or those specific that specific functionality that they specify that you want them to do. Another thing that job hunters tend not to do is acknowledge mistakes. If you mess up, if your train or your bus is just going to be there late, send an email while you're in transit. Let them know you're going to be late. When you get there, make a brief apology. It's not that the apology is so important. It's the absence of an apology that sends a message. And they get concerned as to whether or not you're a rude SOB and whether or not this is going to be more of a problem. After all, their perception is when you're interviewing, you're on best behavior. And thus, not to behave properly is a red flag for them. Another thing people do is they're boring. They don't really have enthusiasm. They don't demonstrate passion for what they do. Their interview style is very flat. And by being flat, they bore the other person. Often being flat or not demonstrating passion is indicative of the absence of knowledge about the situation you'd be walking into, the job, or the firm. So individuals come across as being bored or boring and cause the interviewer to turn off to them and turn off the listening, for that matter. Another thing people do is they try too hard. They try and show how wonderful they are. They try to show that they've got this huge ego. Actually, they don't try and show this, but what they do show is that they've got this huge ego. Everything is about me. Don't really try to contextualize situations for people. Everyone recognizes that for most of you, you're cogs in a machine. You haven't done anything. You've been part of an organization that's done a bunch of things. Don't try so hard that you turn people off. Don't try to make yourself into being so magnificent that you're asking people to just sit before you and bow before you and bask in your magnificence. They turn off to you very quickly if you do that. Finally, you're just rude. Being rude, just basically shows, it shows in a variety of ways. A culturally inappropriate handshake is an obvious one. Now, what I would describe in the U.S. is different than I might describe in other countries. That's why I describe it as a culturally inappropriate handshake. You don't maintain eye contact in a culturally appropriate way. You don't attempt to connect with the interviewer as a human being, and you kind of talk at them and expect them to be subservient to you. These are all huge turnoffs for interviewers and cause them to mentally start to channel surf or start thinking about what they're going to do next after they can get rid of you on this interview. It's not hard to interview well. If you're not sure, there's a lot of tips I have at jeffaltman.com. You can also order one of my books, which is called The Single Best Question You Should Ask on the single best question you should ask on any interview. It's available for Kindle on Amazon, and will teach you that question and others that you should be asking on interviews and give you more than 200 great tips to help you interview well. So those are my tips for today. Let me talk with you about a few of the new positions I'm recruiting for. The first one is in Pasadena. It's a contract assignment for a senior core Java technical lead. It's paying up to $750 per day corp to corp. It would be less on a W-2. 10 years of Java software development experience in high-performance, high-volume transaction environment. Experience in enterprise class software architecture, design, and coding. Experience with REST or SOAP, JMS, and or EJBs. Proven knowledge of design patterns used in both client and server components. TDD or other agile software development methodologies. Well-spoken. WebLogic or JBoss background. Again, to about $750 per day, corp to corp. A VP of Finance position in Jersey City, paying between $175 and $225 on a base plus bonus. 10 years of progressive finance and accounting experience required for a multi-divisional environment of a public company. Without this experience, do not apply. And they want someone at the corporate level, not at the divisional level. So again, without that corporate background, do not apply. They want someone who's well-spoken, with strong skills in financial planning and analysis, modeling systems, accounting, and reporting, and specifically financial reporting experience using the Oracle suite of products. Next position is in Atlanta for a senior software developer, going to about $90,000. They're looking for someone who'd be part of a technical team that's going to be bringing high-quality search engine marketing solutions to market. They want someone who can work independently. No one is looking over your shoulder. They're going to give you a task to do and trust that you're going to do it. They want someone who has been involved with software as a service, who's got a lot of passion for the web and web technologies. Java, XML, Google AdWords API, Adobe Flex, Python, Postgres, SQL, SQLite, and Linux background, to about $95,000 on a base plus bonus. A VP of Development for Biologics. So this is for someone with a PhD in bioengineering, protein chemistry, biochemistry, cell biology, microbiology, or some combination, or a master's with 15 years of experience. There's a detailed position at jeffaltman.com. That's job number 1967. So if you're qualified, interested, and available in any of these positions, please email your resume to me at thebiggamehunter@cisny.com. If you know someone who might fit one of these jobs better than you, by all means, ask them to forward a resume and have them mention your name. There are many more positions at jeffaltman.com, so come over to the website, search the listings. If you still don't see anything that fits your background, I'd be happy to receive a copy of your resume. I just ask as a favor, put the phrase "on spec" in the subject line so I know I can look at it at my convenience. While you're at my site, sign up for a complimentary subscription to No BS Job Search Advice e-zine, which is published weekly with advice for job hunters. The advice is good for people anywhere in the world. It's a $499 value I give away for free. You can read previous articles I've written for the e-zine there, watch videos that I've done for YouTube, listen to podcasts of this show at my website. There's a lot of good information and tools at jeffaltman.com, like places that you can post your resume to, access to easy-to-work-with career builder links that are on the home page in the right-hand column. There's access to Indeed on the links page and Job Search Universe at the bottom of the home page, both of which search thousands of other sites for job leads. You can find out about my coaching program where I work with individuals one-on-one to help you find work. You can find out about other jobs I'm recruiting for, as well as my books and guides to job hunting and other people's books. Two more things. First of all, if you haven't already done so, send me a connection request on LinkedIn. The address is linkedin.com/IN/TheBigGameHunter. And finally, if your firm's trying to hire someone, send me an email at thebiggamehunter@cisny.com. Let me know who to contact and whether or not I can mention your name. I'd love to help your firm staff positions. So this is Jeff Altman. I hope you have a great day. Take care.